Hi, Sucheta. First of all, I'd like to welcome you to this session of Leading Ladies, Wonder Woman in Recruitment. And first of all, thank you so much for accepting my invitation and for being here with me today. And I really look forward to how the entire session spans out.
Thank you, Rachana. Thank you for choosing me and giving me this opportunity to talk to the team. Thank you. I'm looking forward to.
The pleasure is all mine, Sucheta. So, before we begin, can we have a quick introduction of yourself?
I come with around 17 plus years of experience in various functions of HR. Worked in large companies like Infosys, service-based companies, product-based companies. I've also got an opportunity to work with startups. Where to set their entire function of HR. I got an opportunity to work in UK, so I was used to work in Scotland, and I worked there with companies like British Telecom. There was a few local companies as well. I worked. I did a lot of case management, disciplinary handling. So it was a fantastic experience to work outside India and understand their culture and how their engagement work. So now I'm back in India 2 years back and working with Resilinc. Again, I'm working here as a global HR senior director. Experience, it's been 2 years now, and responsible for UK, US, and HR India function. So that's about myself. Born and brought up in Pune, and now looking forward for exciting career here.
That's amazing. That's really great. And like, how's your state of mind right now? Like, are you happy? What zone are you in? Yeah,
Absolutely happy. I think working with a company like Resilinc, it's a product-based company at a very high growth stage, and it's very exciting to be part of the change management organization where you can be part of different new innovations, initiatives, make changes. And when you see that success, especially for HR role, when you see employees liking it, enjoying it, I think it's the best part of the career, I feel.
that's amazing. And that does bring me to my next question, which was like about your entire journey, of course. Like you said, you're happy and you've mentioned so many things. Oh my God, if that does not make you a Wonder Woman, I don't know what will. But yeah. So, how has the entire journey been? And like, what has been that one point of greatest satisfaction? Like, you were like, okay, this is my moment. So, what was that one phase of your life?
Yeah, I think I'm a person who love to think out of the box and connect with people and understand how can we solve a problem. I believe HR is all about solving a problem and building a relationship. And I think it's like customer success. Employees are your customers. And when you see people are happy with you, then at least that's your achievement. And I think the best part I would say is when I got an opportunity to get out of India and understand across the world how people perceive HR, how different benefits, what kind of culture they follow. And still, there are so many things we can change. When I came back to India, I realized there's so many things to learn from each other's culture. And I think a process we implemented, I would say, is about allowing employees to work part-time if they're unable for whatever reason. Let's say if somebody's come back from maternity leave or they have some problems at home. And I started that initiative. So in Resilinc, we allow people if they are in have hours, if we feel that the skills are important. I think for us, we are a very performance-driven company, and I think that's something I love about. And what I really made me good about is when I saw because in India, probably that's not a practice, and people were planning to leave. And when we said, no, 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 you don't need to leave, just work for some time as a part time, and then you can come back whenever you want, when you feel that you can take care of your baby and yourself. I think the kind of happiness and the satisfaction and the amount of gratefulness they had, I think that's something the best part I see that I could implement with all our leadership support.
That's really amazing. And especially if women have that flexibility to work like while they're pregnant or whatever, I think it's really great because I think for a lot of women, their careers are put on hold because of that one thing. And they just feel like, okay. And they also have this entire pressure on themselves, right? That, I mean, because they might have future personal commitments like pregnancy or whatever. So I might not be successful enough. Or what if my boss finds out about it? What if he's thinking that I might not be that reliable? And what if he thinks of firing me and all? I think on one side, when all of that is happening, if something, provision like this is provided to them, I think it's really great. So, yes. And also, there are two sides of a coin. So, if there have been such good moments in your life, I'm sure there have been tough times, and I'm sure there have been some disappointing moments as well. So, what was that one point in your life wherein it disappointed you a lot, and also it was obviously tough for you to tackle it? So, what was that one point?
Yeah, that's a very good question, and I think women, especially going back to our last thing that we talked about, we go through different phases in life. We all our childhood we spend that we have to educate ourselves. That is the only agenda we carry. Then we have career, we do engineering, we do a lot of stuff, and then eventually we get married, and then you have to follow wherever our husband is going. Then there is a pregnancy, the child you have to take care of. You have to in India, you also have to make sure that your family supports, and it goes on. I mean, you have menopause, and you have, I mean, mentally, physically, we go through various phases of life, and I feel in this process, if you stay strong and if you know how to deal with it, I think that's the best part. That's the best way to handle things and be successful. um, so I think for me, when I was in the phase of when I got married and I had to travel with my husband because of his career goals, it was very I was at the high peak of my career. I was enjoying. I always enjoyed my work, and I always wanted to do something new. I had fantastic team managers, and I had to leave everything in the middle of it just because I had to travel with him. I got married, so that's his priority. So I think it was very disappointing, really disheartening because I just had to stop working for a year, and it was very frustrating that there is nothing to do for you. That you just have to sit there, and there is no opportunity. It's not easy to find jobs outside, especially in HR. I think that was quite frustrating and disappointing period for me. But then I think that's the best part happened to my life as well, because that made me think that okay, why not? Why not think of opportunities here and explore myself to. There are a lot of people who say that it's hard to get jobs in HR outside because you need a certification, you need a qualification, you need to understand the culture. And I said, I'm going for it. I know how I can do it. So I think that bring me a lot of uh, energy and more drive to do something differently. So I think, though it was a frustration, but I think I learned that this is the best opportunity for me to explore myself. And I went out in the market and I found jobs, and I think it was a fantastic experience I've ever had, because the kind of flavor you get as an HR, being part of the large and small organizations, I think uh, that is something I'm happy that happened eventually.
That's really great. I mean, people break when things go south and when they have to face all of these hurdles. And I'm really glad you crossed all of them and now you're here. I mean, also, I just feel like whatever past situations we face, be it tough times, hard times, or whatever, they make us who we are at the moment. And I think we need that certain push because only if we have that drive in us, ki, you know what, come what may, we'll do it. Only if we have that drive. And I think these situations are only to test your willpower, so to say. So I think it's great
Yeah.
that you've come this far.
So that's why I tell all ladies, usually they come back to us saying, well, I want to resign because I'm traveling, because I want to resign because I'm pregnant and I don't think I can manage. I said, you can do it. Don't worry. You just stick
Do
around,
it.
you know.
Exactly.
So I think that little push is required, and our families are successfully make us feel that you can't do it. Just quit. I think quitting is easy, but sticking around is critical. I think you should. Yeah.
So, moving on to the main topic of this conversation, we would essentially be talking about employee engagement and retention and what role does TA community play in it. What do you think are the main drivers of employee engagement and what strategies could be used effectively to drive the employee engagement?
Well, it's a very good question, and I think we really all have to think about engagement. Most of the times, if you talk to people, they would say events, trainings. They would say, you do some activities, that is engagement. We, as an HR community, really have to go a little beyond. We are called human resources. Unfortunately, it's like we are resourcing humans, but it's more like we are working with women. It's something like the doctors who basically talk to their patients and understand what's going wrong, how they can help. They help with medicine, but you will always see the difference when the doctor talks to you nicely and helps you come out of it positively. You feel much better, you know. Can
Very
you, can, when the doctor is smiling, talking to you, understanding your problem and helping you, it helps. I think as an HR, building a relationship with each employee, meeting them frequently, understanding what is their skills. You cannot have a random programs and tick marks saying, okay, this is the event. I did 5 events, I did 4 activities, I did these kind of trainings, and that's the engagement. I think we need to go and think a little beyond and make that we connect with people and understand what is their requirement instead of we deciding what is their requirement. And accordingly, you can come up with different plans, which is really going to help those people grow in their career. So if you really look at the journey of any working, so you put yourself, what do you really like when you work? Why do you enjoy your work? And if you're able to understand that and engage them well, I think for me that is a definition of employee engagement. So you you need to have that connect with employees and understand, okay, so these are the skills, these are the qualities, and these are the likings of this person. What does he want to do next? Is he happy with what he's doing, or he wants to do something different? And then you will if you talk to 10 people, you will see 4 people have similar kind of requirements. Then you probably do something for them. If you know that somebody enjoys being with people, talking to people more, and they are in a role where they don't have opportunity to speak to anyone, especially working from home has made a lot of uh, lives difficult for people who are social, who don't enjoy working individually. So if you understand, then you can make that role change. So the topic for today is the recruitment and the how they should make sure that the engagement, how what role they play. So as a recruiter, as a leader, if whenever I'm interviewing a candidate for HR or as a talent acquisition person, I need to understand whether this person is going to enjoy this work or not. If you realize that he wants to work because he wants to earn, but he's not going to enjoy his work, then probably he's going to be unsuccessful and you will probably go through the process of non-performance. So I think that is engagement. Then you can plan your engagement activities, your trainings accordingly as per the requirement of the employee. So I think that's something as recruiter, as HR leaders should make sure that there is a clear understanding of the requirement of people and accordingly make your strategies.
What do you think about this though? Like, I've heard two sides of this. Like, if you want to make your employees work better, you need that emotional connect slash that personal connect at least. But at the same time, I've also heard that if you have that emotional connect or whatever, it'll bring down the productivity levels. So, like, what do you believe in? Like, should we or should we not?
No, I don't believe in that. I think the productivity increases if you have that connect. So let's say, for example, many a times when you go through the performance improvement process, whatever it's crazy things that we do, most of the times we say, okay, you did horrible here. We don't like the way you work and things. And we just put a tag that this person is not performing and he's not good. We don't go a little extra beyond as we were talking about. People go through the phases, different phases of life. If you're talking to a young boy, you need to understand who is a non-performer, what is the background, is he going through any personal challenges, is he there are a lot of people who go through there are, like, due to COVID now, or their health issues, their parents are not well, their wives have some problem, the kids are not well, or they have a lot of problems. People go through divorces, people go through their own personal traumas. Unfortunately, we don't even care to think that he himself might be going through some mental health issues or stress, not because of work, but maybe because of the personal problems. Have you taken a step ahead and asked why your performance has been good? You hire a person because of the skills. You spend time on training, you spend time on interviewing, you spend cost and energy and ensuring that they stick around. You come up with benefits and retention plans and engagement activities, and then you just say that no, the productivity is going down because it's not performing. You are, because you're not going beyond and understanding what's the problem, why is he not performing. Is it a skills issue, is it a situational issue? Maybe many a times, couple of months, you cannot, we are humans, we are not machines. Even machines stop sometimes, you have to repair them, right? So yeah, so I think productivity will go down if you don't take those frequent checks. I think that's important. Like here, we have a practice where when people join, we do 30, 60, 90 days discussion. It's not review, it's not performance, it's not feedback. We just
Okay.
catch up to see, how are things with you? Do you feel comfortable? Because I understand somebody's come from large setups, someone has come from some specific, working style. So when new people are coming in, are you checking whether they're comfortable? Are you checking whether they're happy with what they're doing? Are you checking whether managers are supporting them, telling them what they're supposed to do? So as an HR, we play an important role in ensuring that people are settling down and comfortable and supporting them if they need anything from our side. I think if you do that frequent checks, if you make sure that you understand, going little extra mile, you can get them. Happy employees, you will see always performing well if they're happy and if you talk to them. You will always see the reciprocation from their side as well. But if you just put tags on people saying he's non-performers, he's been well, but okay, kick him out, it doesn't help.
True. And I think it's easier way out to just throw a person out and be like, okay, he's not performing, so let's replace him. But then
Yeah.
we off more often than not we go for the easy options and not for the tough things. And I think that one particular thing wherein you address the issues of the employee and make sure that all his issues are catered to, I think that would go a really long way. And yeah, I really love that suggestion of 30, 60, 90 days. I would try to implement that as well. Okay, moving on to the next question. What do you think are some of the common challenges that organizations face while trying to improve employee engagement, and how would one address them?
I think the involvement from employees, the biggest challenge you feel. If you, like, especially in the virtual world, if you tell people, okay, we're going to organize something and please join, please turn your cameras on, please participate,
Oh, yeah.
nobody participates. Um, and if you ask them, okay, what should we do? If you ask them, I don't know, most of the companies don't even care to ask people. I can't believe I have seen. I always believe in inclusivity, wherein people are involving HR and leadership is involving employees in the benefit. Whatever you're doing, whatever benefit you're coming up with, I think their opinions matters a lot because they're going to use it, right? So involvement is not there. If you don't ask, if you don't respect their opinion, you will not see involvement from their side. And I think that's the biggest challenge in employee engagement. If the leadership or the management or the HR is unable to involve people in their decision making process, in encouraging them to be part of the discussions, allowing them to share their opinions, allowing them to share their views on whatever is happening, or even if they are bad. So even if I always say to people, tell us that we did horrible that day, that event or that process is terrible, please change it. And that kind of liberty you should give to people, because that's the best feedback I think HR should get. And that's why probably that is why you face challenges in involving people. And most of the times engagement is just a feeling that I did activity and I did event. I'm not sure whether that people really reach there. And the other challenges I would feel is the way you do it. I feel what you do. So I always believe in setting up better. So if in my company as well, we have an entire calendar booked. So January to December, what we are going to do, what trainings we will have, what kind of activities we'll have, Holi is coming up, what we are going to do. So we have calendars placed already, planned, events are planned. People are aware of it for the entire year, which training is coming up. What, so they look forward. They look forward that, okay, there's something planned for me. If you do things last minute, if you plan the way you want and you expect people to be part of it, it's not going to happen. And there is a continuous feedback you should take on anything you do, because you know that, okay, I did not do well, probably I have to change it. And you should be flexible enough as an able to make sure whatever you process, policies, engagement plan, training you do, you need to keep on improvising on that. Most of the times we feel that, okay, this is a policy, this is follow, but does it really make sense in the current situation? Is it really helping people? Is it solving a problem? Is this process working out well? We have to continuously check. And if somebody's coming and telling you that it's not working, then it's not working. You have to change it. I think if the approach of HR, the involvement of employees, and the way find your engagement plan, these could be the major challenges if you don't do it well, I feel.
Fair enough. And I think the constant taking the feedback, like constantly, I think that's very important because people go like, I'm your boss, you do what I say. अपना opinion नहीं पूछा है. So I think that's somewhere like it brings down the entire organization down, I guess. And I feel in that case, even the employees wouldn't be interested to just be like, and then that's when I think the camera off issue happens. They'll be like, "ठीक है, just get done with this. I'll keep my camera off." So yeah,
And
that's a very
HR, you know, right, how people talk. Actually, HR ka initiative hai. Anyways, we are not going to talk, they are going to talk. So uh, we have to break that trend and say that it's make them feel that it's for you. And I think uh, I don't believe in that hierarchy and things. Especially HR has are there for people for their experience to make sure whatever legal, whatever formalities we need to do, we have to do it. So it's not, they are not working for you, you're working for them. So you better do your job well.
exactly. And but also with respect to HR, people have this preconceived notion HR does nothing. He or she, he's only there to take money and to go home. बाकी कुछ काम नहीं होता है types. Like, what do you have to say about that?
That's exactly because there is no inclusiveness in the discourses. Let's say if you are working in a company and I'm coming up with some plans. Let's say I think in COVID, HR community did a lot of ways of engaging people. So let's say you decide to do some uh, whatever show or yoga session or whatever. Or you decide to come up with a benefit plan. I think we did something where you can have gyms and all of that free, and or you do trekking or whatever. We always have a committee. We call people. We something like on every Friday we do chai pe charcha, in which we actually don't do anything. We just catch up and we talk about, okay, what do you think about this? What do you think about this new initiative? And then people, because we have that culture, we build that culture, people are open enough to even talk about bad things, that this did not happen well, I think, or this went well. So inclusiveness, allowing
Hmm.
people to be part of whatever you do, whether it's engagement, whether it's process, I think then people will feel that you're doing something, and it's not easy. It takes time to understand and process. What most of the time happens is HR decides everything and they implement forcefully and expect people to follow, join, accept whatever you have done is has to be correct. There are no questions to be asked. There is no change that will happen. There is no discussion because we have decided. I think that's a wrong. That's how HR is always looked at it. We are anyways not going to get any answer. So we have to break that trend, and we have to probably work closely with everyone. As I said, that we are working for them; they are not working for us. So we have to make sure that we do
Exactly.
what they.
Only if I understood that. Okay. Moving on to the next question. What do you think are some of the emerging trends or innovations in employee engagement and retention, and how do you think that might impact the organizations in the future?
So in engagement, especially in virtual world, now we all are working from home, though there are few companies started going to office. I think, as I said, in engagement right now, if you really look at priorities of people in today's youngsters, uh, getting into a right role, having that career ladder, getting more and more clarity on what is going to be next. Let's say if I join today, what's going to be next year, where I'm going to be next year, in
Hmm.
terms of my role, my learnings, new opportunities. How can I see myself 5 years down the line? So, as a leadership, as a management, if you're able to answer those questions well, and if you're able to uh, guide them on and tell them that yes, we have these opportunities for you, and this is how you will climb up the ladder. It and yes, of course, most of the companies have those documents in place which talks about this is your designation, this is your designation, this is your. But that doesn't help. You need to have that discussion with them, because maybe the designation you have set, the career ladder that you have set, may not be what he's looking for. So is he really looking to continue in the same role, or does he want to? There are a lot of people who want to change functions as well, right? So some people say, well, I'm currently in this, but I'm excited if I can join other team, or if I can get to learn what this team does. So the only way you can understand what the person is looking for by talking to him. Talking to them is very critical, and then you follow the expectation in whatever limitations you have. But I think that is critical in today's world. And second, so that according to me, that is engagement. And the second engagement is uh, making sure that we have the different activities in place to engage them. As I said, for the entire year, you should know what are things you're doing. Basically, the career hierarchy and the engagement plan, whatever you're planning to do with people, please communicate to them the way and what you're going to do, and engage them in the decision making process. Let's say we are if we did sports day last year. So uh, everything that we did, we asked people, should we do this? Should we do that? We did committee members. So the more and more you involve people in your events and activities, the more successful it would be. I think that is a key to the successful engagement for HR.
Fair enough. And this needs to become that one rock solid trend that everybody needs to implement. Talk to people, talk to your employees, talk to, and I think this is actually a good thing. Like, first, you take constant feedbacks, you make sure that you talk to them about how they feel, you take genuine consideration of their opinions. And then, yes, that's a very good point. Okay. Moving on to the retention part of it. What do you think? How can organizations address issues related to employee retention, and what strategies could they use to retain their top talent?
Well, again, in today's world, retention is the most difficult part, I feel, because there's so many opportunities in the market, and there is no way you can say that this policy works well and then this is a retention policy. I don't believe in that. I think it's all about, again, the making person feel happy. If I'm completely enjoying my work and I'm getting the money that I'm looking for, and the benefits. I think in nowadays people always look for health benefits since COVID. Everybody wants to make sure that their parents are taken care, their family is taken care, and all the facilities that they need are taken care. So I think everybody works for money, obviously, because they have to survive. There is no other. I mean, there is nothing to deny, uh, and obviously they need to enjoy what they do so they become successful. You have to be successful in whatever you do. So if you are able to give to make sure that they achieve. So
Hmm.
obviously the compensation plan has to be robust where it should be in line with the market standards. You may hire few people with good skills and good compensation instead of hiring a lot of people with less salary and non-performers. And obviously your benefit plans and the way you build your culture. I think since we started this call, we are talking about I would say the experience. I think employee engagement is probably a word which needs to be changed to employee experience, because what experience you give. It's same like the customers we give experience. You go to a shop, you buy something. If somebody talks to you nicely, helps you, and supports you, you ask for something, they tell you where it is, you feel good, you get out of the shop and you go back to the shop, the same shop, because of the experience. You get the same product, you go to any shop, but you will go to that shop if you like interacting with that person, right? So that is an experience. As a company, if you're able to give that experience to employees, I think that is engagement, and that is the best retention, where they will think whether I want to get out of this and go somewhere where I don't to unknown people and make myself uncomfortable. Do I want to really do that? And obviously the benefit plans, the compensation structure, the salary, these definitely matter. So those are kind of has to be there, but the culture, the employee experience, the relationship you have, the career opportunities that you give. I think all of this together could be a great retention strategy. There cannot be retention policy we can think of.
Fair enough. And in spite of all this, if an employee has decided that he has to leave, then there's nothing that can stop him. But then I think before an employee makes that decision, if he's taken care of अच्छे से, why would he want to leave? Because it's very simple. You won't go look for any other place, or look for alternatives if you're happy in the first place. So I think keeping employees happy is the baseline.
Yeah, retention is something I feel it's a package of different policies, process, culture, career ladder that you create. But at the same time, the trend has changed. So you will not have people working for you for 10 years and 20 years. So you as an HR, as manager, and as a company leaders should be prepared for people to leave. Sometimes you feel that this person is leaving and what's going to happen? Nothing happens. New person comes with new ideas, and in fact, it's a good change. So we should look at it as in a positive way as well. And obviously, we do everything to make sure a person stays, but everybody has different priorities, and I think that's the best opportunity for us to find another right person from the market who can help us look at what we are doing currently differently. So I think I look at it as a very positive way that the change is different, change matters, and if people leave, that barrier, that trend breaks, and you have new fresh minds coming up. So
Ultimately, as long as the company gets a good replacement and as long as the person who has left the company is happy, it's all good. Okay. Now, here we move on to the last segment of the session. It's going to be a quick couple of questions. That's it. Okay. So the first question is, what's that one mistake women make that you have seen people like women making in their professional life slash careers that you highly object? Like one thing that really pisses you off. Why is she doing that? What's that one mistake?
quitting job for anything else. I think other than she wants to do something on her own, but because of the family, because of everything else, where she doesn't want to quit, I think it. I all ladies out there who are listening to me, please don't quit jobs. It's important. Go ask for and speak out. I think speaking out helps. Many a times they themselves decide that there's not going to be opportunities. I think if you talk about it, people are there to help you. So just speak out what the problem is. Say that you want to stick around. You will see ladies saying that I want to leave because I can't take care of my kid, or I have to whatever be with my. Why can't we say that I want to stay, but because of the family I'm not able to say, can you help? Please don't quit jobs for your other things. It's been great career you do, and you quit within a second just because your family things or your friends things think that you're not able to manage.
Fair enough. I highly agree with this. Like, see, it's anyways difficult for men to make their marks. Okay. And on top of that, if you give in to these XYZ issues, it'll become even more tough for you to like. Okay, even if I agree, I understand. Sometimes it's you can't help it, and you might have to take a break. But then also, you would become dependent on somebody else.
Yeah.
And personally, I feel like each and every woman, like they should become financially independent. Don't be dependent on anybody just because of XYZ reasons. Come what may, please be financially independent.
And the
That's
break really breaks you completely, because if you don't work for a year or 2 or 3 or 5 years, you feel your confidence goes down. You feel out of the skills, you forget things, and you again have to start. I've seen girls who for 10 years and then took 5 years gap. They have to restart from like a fresher, because nobody will take them after 5 years or 10 years of gap. Well, why do you want to do that? You spend all your childhood to reach there. Your parents taught
key.
you and told you you have to do this degree, that degree, so you get married and you do well and all of that, and you just quit it. Just don't give up. I think we can do it. If we can do so many things, give birth to the baby, we can take care, we can work.
Like, how is that even compared? Like, you're bringing life into this world. What
Absolutely.
is
So it
getting a
is all
job?
about managing it well. If you stop
Fair enough.
saying to yourself, I can't manage, you can manage. You just have to figure out the ways to deal with it. There's so many options you can think of, and it's all in our mind, I feel. We just give up too quickly, because our society say that your priority is your family, your priority is your baby, your priority are are not going to change. That if you work for a couple of hours, that doesn't mean that you don't care for your baby. So
Yeah,
stop
exactly.
thinking of how.
Yeah, and
I
it's
think,
okay to prioritize yourself at times. Like you should do that. It would be wrong to not do it.
yeah.
So, yeah.
So I think you should be very strong on your opinion and your decision. At the end, nobody's going to come and help you. You only have to take care of your baby, whether you. So you better manage yourself well and take care of yourself. At the end, when you will see you did that well, people will appreciate you. You did a good job. You took care of your baby and you worked. But if you quit, nobody is going to come and help you to find a job. Nobody's going to help you to bring that confidence back, those skills back. Nobody's going to. Those are the people who will run away and say that, oh, you're not working now. Why are you not working? So yeah, then you don't have answer because you quit already and you're out of it. Please don't quit jobs. You can manage.
Okay, moving on to the next question. What advice would you give to your younger self?
Well, I think as I said, I had gone through the phases like everybody has gone through, and I would suggest that, for example, I love psychology as a subject, and I recently completed a counseling course in psychology, and I'm practicing it now. I'm practicing counseling. I think I never realized, I never looked at that as my liking. I always knew that this is something I liked, but I never pushed myself to get into it. And I think all of us go through that phase where you knew that you're enjoying this, you know that you like this, but you just you just don't get into it because you feel we don't know whether there is a career in it. I don't know whether I'll be able to earn out of it, or I don't know whether people will support me for that. And I think 12, 15, 17 years back, I never had that courage to get into this profession. I would have loved to, but I'm happy that now I realize that I'm doing it, and it's tremendously helping me in HR. Especially to all HR communities, I think learning psychology is a key for HR. I think all HR communities should do at least short courses of psychology where you understand human psychology, how it works, what how people behave, what personalities we meet, how to deal with it. I think basic also helps a lot. I think our profession needs that.
Okay, and my last question would be like your advice to women. Like we have already talked about their mistakes, but then one advice that you would give, apart from like not quitting their jobs, one advice from you to the women in the society.
Sure. So I feel many a times women I have seen that they always ask for opinions to people, whether it's husband or family or friends, that what I should do, whether it's good for me, and they 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 all never think of thinking about themselves on what they really like and what they really enjoy. I mean, I think we are fabulous in the skills and qualities we have. I think women can do everything where they do. You talk about cooking, dance, music, organizing events, multitasking. Women can only do multitasking. Men can't, but somewhere they feel that they ask for opinions. They never feel that they never take the control of their
Hmm.
own self, their own decisions, and they will all you'll always see girls gossiping about things that she did like that, she did like that, she did, so I have to do it. And I think we should stop doing that. We ourselves are very strong. We know what our qualities are. We can do multitasking. We can take care of things. Know yourself well, be confident about it, and talk about it. Speak out. I think that's something I would uh, request everybody to talk about your problems. The more you speak, the more you open up, the more you share what you want, what you're going through. You will start finding solutions for it. You will always see women keeping quiet. They don't, because They don't want to, they feel that I'm not someone who's supposed to speak. Someone else has to take decisions for me. Someone else has to decide what I'm supposed to be liking. So I think we have to get out of that and be confident, build your own personality, build your own career. There is no other happiness you will see. We will have kids, they will grow and leave us. uh, Husbands will continue working and have their own ways. I think we sitting at home wondering what am I supposed to do now. So please don't get into that situation. I meet so many girls thinking, quitting their jobs, sitting there, wondering now. Kids are going to school, they are busy with their friends, husband is busy with his life, and they have nothing to do at home. Don't get into that situation. You are owner of your life. Decide how you want to live, decide your career, and go for something I feel I would like to message everyone.
Beautifully said, Sucheta. I hope I'm going to send this recording to everybody. I'm going to promote this so much. Like, fair enough. I mean, women ultimately they need to stand up for themselves. Nobody is going to come to their rescue. No, what's that thing called? Like a guy would come to your rescue. Uh, Nobody is going to come to rescue you riding on a
No,
horse. And that's all fairy tales. That's not happening in real life. You need to be your own queen. Get your things sorted and stand up for yourself.
absolutely. And stay focused. People are going to talk good and bad about you. You will always see all those families talking about how careless you are and all of that, and you're not prioritizing and all of that. Just focus what you enjoy and just enjoy what you do. So nothing else matters. Take care of your responsibilities, take care of your family. You can do it. You can do multitasking is something which we underestimate ourselves. I have seen ladies saying, I have kids now, I don't think I can manage. You just manage. Delegation of work, it's something all women has to, I think that's something we really have to learn, because I have seen women end up, they think that if they do, then only work will happen. If they go to the kitchen, then only cooking will happen. If they do things at home, then nothing matters. You delegate, you decide what you enjoy, what are your priorities. And if 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that is something you focus. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 work, delegate. Delegate.
Correct.
If you don't like, ask someone else to do. Nothing matters. Nobody will really care. Even if you do them, nobody will care. Even if you sit in the kitchen all day, you cook for everyone, still nothing will change. You will get frustrated and you will not have the time for yourself. So I think prioritize what you want to do, what your likings are, and focus on it. Delegate rest of the work which you don't like. The delegation is a key. Yeah.
Very true. And at times I've heard things like like the husband comes home and then he goes like, "What did you even do all day?" Like even though the wife she does everything since morning, she will do everything, be it cooking, clothes, house, like everything, sorting and everything. But then only to hear at the end of the day, "What did you do all day?" So she might as well focus on what she wants to do herself, Aram say, and then rather than
Absolutely.
just taking care of other things and prioritizing
Yeah,
other needs over hers.
of course. If you think cooking is taking your time or cleaning the house is taking your time, delegate it.
Delicate.
That's something I keep telling my mom. The way you clean your house, the outside is not going to clean. So keep lowest expectations. You don't have to expect everything the way you want. You do what you want and what you're enjoying. Let rest of the work happen the way it can happen at its best. You don't have to be perfectionist everywhere. Just focus on what you like to do and delegate rest of the things and let it happen in its own way. You cannot have quality perfection in everything that you do. It's okay to have few things not at its best quality, but do something which you like. If you like working, if you like dance, if you like music, if you whatever you like, give your 100% there and make sure that you have best quality there, because that's something you're going to enjoy. Don't waste your time in something which is not going to make it. At the end, we all are here to be happy. think we should take care of our happiness.
Exactly. And beautifully said, Sucheta. It's been really great. Okay, and with that, we come to the end of the session.
Thank you, Rachana. Pleasure talking to you. I think you had great questions, which really helped me talk about many things which I wanted to touch base on.
Thank you so much for joining with me here today. It was lovely talking to you as my Wonder Woman. And needless to say, I've learned a lot from the session. It was pretty insightful, and I can't wait for the other people to see this. So again, thank you for being with me here today. It's been my absolute pleasure to host you as my guest.